Due next, roll off von der Merwe. After that, in case you need any acceleration, Darren Sammy.
Plenty of power to come. Plenty of power to come for the JD Jaguars. You see a partnership there up front. 50 off 42 balls. Kinchit 19 off 21 and Nazakit 18 off 21, going nice and strong. And you see use of the hands from Nazakit just to push the ball out to deep square. Get the feeling that they're very much in control here. They're not going too hard. Very controlled. They feel like they've got the game really within their power to win, and they're probably going to look to knock it off in the sort of 15th over, 1 or 2 down maximum.
Haven't really needed to do much. Apart from these two batsmen out there, we've got extras sitting pretty on 13. 12 wides already inside the 8th over.
That's right, and it's really nice to see two Hong Kong batsmen out there not panicking, playing nicely, playing within control, thinking about what they need to do, thinking about who they're targeting, thinking about who's bowling at them, how they're bowling. It's quite easy, you know, would have probably seen 2 or 3 years ago, probably both of these two batters trying to go really hard at someone like Ravi Bopara and ending up throwing their wickets away. Quite happy, quite content to knock it around, take the odd boundary here and there, which is going to be easily enough to get them over the line.
Playing the situation really well, the Jaguars. Might have been very different had they been batting first. You would have seen a very different side to these two. Just playing on the merit of the score they're chasing.
Yeah, that's right. The one thing they have to be careful of here is they don't back themselves into a corner. They can't go too defensive. They still need to take the boundary opportunities that are there when they present themselves. Otherwise, they could end up backing the lower order into a bit of a corner.
Spotted that one. Took a while reaching him. What are the options now for Riyad Emrit? Who does he turn to? Who's going to be his golden arm? Will it be the man with the half-century, Azaz Khan?
Yeah, I think they've got to go to Azaz at some point. Waqas Barkat also bowls some really useful leg spin. He's also a wicket taker. He can create opportunities. So we've seen Nazakit turning the ball off his legs, and in your picture there, Azaz just fielding the ball. I do feel he probably needs to be throwing the ball at some point. Anshuman Rath also bowls some very useful left arm spin as we complete the 8th over at 56 for 8.
Going well, Hang Hong JD Jaguars chasing 133. Still the openers unseparated at the start of the 9th over. Another big conference between the senior statesman of the city, Kaitak. That's the captain. We're going to see a bowling change from the men in yellow. It's been all magenta so far here at the Ting Kwong Road, a recreation ground in Hong Kong. Day 1 of the 2018 T20 Hong Kong Blitz.
And here we go, we have indeed got the change. Azaz Khan coming on to bowl. His traditional warm-up, likes to mark his run-up out and then have a little trundle in. I think he's probably got quite a late call up there. Looks quite stiff. Cold breeze here means he'll probably be stiff as a plank. Down at fine leg, take a few balls to get warmed up.
Yeah, it's just starting to get a little bit cooler again. Compared to a couple of days ago, it was relatively milder in the middle of the afternoon, but you can see the breeze just picking up just past 4 o'clock in the afternoon local time in Hong Kong.
Start from Azaz. Just pushed out to a deep point from Kinchit. City Kaitak need to get some wickets here if they're going to start stalling the Jaguars' innings. Just looks a bit easy for them at the moment. I think they need to try and create something from nowhere. Otherwise, the game is just going to drift away from them a little bit. Like to see them get a slip in or bowl a few bounces. Use this big side on one side and run in and just see if they can create something from nothing.
Oh, he's crunched that as Nizakat Khan. So lucky the fielder at extra cover didn't get a finger to it. That's the kind of shot we're used to seeing from Nizakat Khan.
Yeah, exactly. Gives himself room outside the leg stump. Uses his hands. He's got terrific hand speed through the ball, which means he can generate some significant power from pretty much little or no base.
And once he gets going, he can be very dangerous. Pitching it short and just reminding Kinchit Shah, Nizakat Khan is back.
Yeah, that's right. I don't mind the short ball to Nizakat, but I think you've probably got to use it from the commentary box end where the boundary is sort of 60-70 meters, whereas that side it's about 45. Plus you've got to get the ball right up above the chest line. Nizakat is one of the leading run scorers in this competition.
Another boundary, that's 3 in a row. And this one's gone all the way. That is an indication sometimes of the short boundaries. It's just almost a jab, a slash, which typically would have gone over slips for a single to a third-man fielder. But that's gone for all the way.
Yeah, that's right. And that's, if you're going to if there's a takeaway from cricket in Hong Kong, it's exactly that. It's a thick outside edge that would normally go for 1 run, generally goes to 6. So you do see some extraordinary scores here in domestic cricket. Overs rapidly beginning to put the final nails in the coffin of the City Kaitak team. Run rates becoming lower and lower and lower. Very, very good catch there by Raj Kapoor. Again, what we were talking about before, using the short ball to the big boundary. You're trying to create something from nothing. If the guy's going to hit you out the ground, get him to hit you out the ground over a fielder's head. And smart bit of cricket from Azaz Khan, and Kinchit Shah departs.
Captain goes for 22. It's 72 for 1. I think it's a very key wicket before this over looked like it was getting away from them. A big over. 16 runs off it. The last ball of the over just testing him out, and he had the luxury of that big boundary. We saw a very similar position to where Kyle Kutsa was caught earlier by Nadeem Ahmed. But a wonderful catch there taken by Rag Kapoor on the boundary. Judged it well. Brought Ricky Wessels to the crease.
Another dynamic batsman, Ricky Wessels, plays for Notts in England. Trent Bridge, used to playing on very flat wickets. There's some short boundaries there. There's been some huge scores in 2020 cricket domestically that Notts have been involved in. And Ricky, along with Hales, Samit Patel, have been instrumental in those big scores. As we see a normal delivery from Ravi Bopara first up with a little bit of seam movement. So we just see a replay here of a short ball from Azaz Khan getting Kinchit high up on the bat, and a great catch from Rag Kapoor out at deep square.
They really need to find a way back into this game. They've got that one wicket. Now they can't afford to let Nizakat Khan get going.
That's right, and I think if I was on the City Kaitak team, I'd be looking to try and bowl a lot more shorter balls, particularly from Ravi Bopara's end, trying to hit out to this deep boundary. So I think all Nizakat's going to do here is just going to keep swinging, and his bat speed and the way he plays, actually that deep point, deep third man, deep extra cover, they're all in the game, and that's his scoring areas. You've got to try and get him to hit where he doesn't want to hit.
So at the start of Nizakat's innings, could have been out LBW, could have been taken by Sohail Tanvir, a return catch. One nearly went to hand, just behind point. But I think once he's found the middle of the bat, he's finding the gaps in the field as well. When you see a short boundary, you don't always have to hit it too hard. Just get the right amount of placement. No, he wants a souvenir. Can we have it back? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it wasn't high enough, really, to trouble Nizakat. He's such a dangerous player if he gets going. He really can just take the game away from you. He's proved that in the past, time and time again. He's looking to go one better than Azaz Khan. I think he's looking for a 50, 79 for 1 off 10.
Simon mentioned a moment ago, but look at Nizakat Khan there, on top of the tree. 282 runs among JD Jaguars. Dwayne Smith is playing this tournament as well. Kyle Kutsa missed out today for City Kaitak, otherwise he could have been challenging Nizakat Khan. Some other big names in there as well.
Yeah, Misbah not here this year. Down there, Bubba Hyatt, the Kowloon Cantons, he'll be in action tomorrow. And he's looking to try and challenge that top spot in this tournament. Badri starts his 4th over, putting all their eggs in one basket here, trying to create something in this middle order, get another wicket.
Yeah, I think they've realized they've not got too many runs to play with, so they've gone to Badri. He's already in his 4th over. They've gone to Sohail Tanvir, Riyad Emrit. No doubt Tanvir will come back soon if you can see them getting close to the target, but no sign of Manjinder Singh yet. No sign of Akash Barkat, who could bowl his leggies.
Yeah, they're just trying to, like I say, put all their eggs in one basket. I wouldn't be surprised if Sohail Tanvir comes back pretty soon, just to try and make a breakthrough. There's not going to be an end to this innings. so you're not going to need him at the end. The only way they're going to win this game is by bowling the Jaguars out.
Indication there of the way Ricky Vessel started is maybe it's not all that easy for a incoming batsman. We saw Nizakat struggle early in his innings. Once you're in, just get a feel of the way the ball's coming off. Expect it to get a little bit quicker, a little bit more batting friendly as the sun continues to beat down over the week. It's a little more tolerant in terms of the temperatures. That's been hit high. And what a catch! That came out of nowhere. And we had no reaction whatsoever from Sohail Tanvir. It was just like he was plucking plums.
Yeah, it looked like he got a decent part of that. As he departs for 3, 6. So we 83 for 2 off 11.
83 for 2 in 11 overs. The men in yellow have come together, trying to find a way back into this match. Johan Boyter, just like he bowls up and down the order, he bats up and down the order as well. You never know when he's walking out to bat. We were expecting maybe Rolof van der Merwe to be out at number 4. But I think Boyter just bullied his way in. I'm going in now. Finally, the yellow flags are flying. A few smiles for the City Kaitak supporters. They've got a wicket at a key time. Ricky Vessels didn't look comfortable out there. You've got to get them early. So leave Nizakat at one end, try and get wickets at the other.
Yeah, I think you're actually starting to see guys who are in and playing a lot of cricket, and guys who aren't actually playing a lot of cricket. You know, this looked like you got a decent part of it, but not quite enough, and a very comfortable catch there by Sohail Tanvir. And as you say, pretty minimal reaction there from Sohail. It's a big blow for City Kaitak, and Riyad Emirates going to look to try and repeat that by getting out Nazaket Khan, who's starting to look very, very dangerous with, as he approaches his 50 off just 35 balls.
Not the best first over from the captain of City Kaitak. With Badri having finished out, I reckon we might just see Sohail Tanvir come back in. Simon mentioned a moment ago, this is not going to go till the 20th over. Got to try and cause the damage right here if you want to stand a chance in this match.
Yeah, that's right. You get Nazaket out now. 2 new men in. You've got an opportunity of a couple of dot balls, bit of pressure, get another wicket, then suddenly you can start creating some artificial pressure when, you know, realistically we see 48 runs from 52 balls. There realistically isn't that much pressure. However, you know, 6 runs and over in theory is very easy nowadays, but it actually never is when you get into the heat of the moment.
Nazaket Khan just allowing Johan Boyter to ease into his innings. A couple of singles. Doesn't need to really do anything different. Just be there till the end, Nazaket Khan. Strike rate much more like the kind we're used to seeing from him.
It's going to be good for Nazaket to have quite a calm head in Johan Boder out there. He'll talk him through exactly what's going on. Johan will also want to be there. He's slightly underused in last year's tournament, used more as a bowler. but he's undoubtedly a very, very effective batsman.
I think he's had a word with Kinshit Shah. But you like characters like that in the dressing room. You like people who want to be involved. They want the ball to come to them in the field. He likes bowling his 4 overs at different times. We already mentioned that when he was bowling. And of course, with bat in hand, he's been so good for South Africa lower down the order. Showing it here. Versatile.
Yeah, you exactly want characters like that who want to be involved, take the ball into situations and own them. That's ultimately, I think, what he has done here. He's spoken to Kinshit. He said, "Look, get me into the middle order. Let's win this game properly."
It's the 13th wide delivery. Extras now going up to 14. Yes, they've got 3 such characters in their dressing room. They've got Johan Boyta, Roelof van der Merwe, and of course, the irrepressible Darren Sammy.
Wealth of experience, isn't it? Wealth of experience across that group of players that Kinshit, who can, as the captain, can tap into. I'm pleased that Kinshit has retained the captaincy. A lot of the other teams have moved away from Hong Kong players.
Just happy with a single there at the end of 12. It's 89 for 2.
Yeah, a lot of the teams have moved away from Hong Kong players captaining. Azaz Khan captained City Kaitak last year. Riyad Emirates taken over this year. Kinshit has retained the captaincy of JD Jaguars, probably because his father is one of the owners. Baba Hyatt is, as the national captain, is captain in the cantons, which is good.
A lovely view of the hills just surrounding this wonderful cricket facility, the Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground in Hong Kong. Got some big names in this tournament. There's a glimpse of one of them right behind. Kumar Sangakkara, Dwayne Smith, Darren Sammy already involved today on the opening day. And of course, the stars of Hong Kong cricket, and one of the big stars, one of the imposing stars, Nizakat Khan, 48 of 37. And it's really good to see, no matter what happens in this tournament, you want the overseas players to add a bit of colour and spice. But so far, all the performers here have been the local boys.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Last year, there was a couple of glimpses. Zakat got 100. Mohammed Owais, who played for Galaxy Gladiators, he got a 50 in one of the games in a losing cause, unfortunately. Carl Christie had a couple of good spells, but it's really, really encouraging to see now that it's not just overseas players versus overseas players. We've got our national guys in here and actually really contributing. And credit to the franchises, they've actually put them in positions where they can actually contribute, and they're delivering.
And one such position we saw with that man on your screen, Azaz Khan, who was pushed up the batting order when his side were in trouble, got them out of trouble, got himself a wonderful half-century, and took City Kaitak to a score which was at least something to bowl at, if not necessarily a winning score. Oh, that's very close. That's going to be very close. He's gone. First ball from Manjinder Singh. We just were asking, where is he? He comes on and says, here I am with a wicket. First ball.
Absolutely, full and straight. Zakat Khan not being able to get his pad out of the way, and it's just crashed straight into his pad in front of middle stump.
Big wicket. Zakat Khan goes short of his 50. He goes for 48. It's 89 for 3. Manjinder Singh announces himself in style. I think it's been so refreshing to see every single time someone's been thrown a ball among local players who've stood up and been counted.
He probably felt he got himself outside the line, but the impact was very much in line with the stumps. Very, very easy decision there for the umpire. Brings Roelof van der Merwe into bat. Again, a very aggressive, combative middle-order batsman. Likes to get off and running with a boundary generally early on in his innings, so look out for that.
What about that first ball from Manjinder Singh? Almost been forgotten by his captain. Comes on in 13th over, gets the big fish. Nezakat Khan sent back. City Kaitak with a spring in their step now. Can he give us one of those swinging Yorkers yet again? To the new man. Not quite a Yorker, but certainly a very good delivery.
It's an important tournament for Manjinder Singh. He's been into the national squad. A few years ago, he went to the World Cup qualifiers in New Zealand, 2014. We just see all running back into Roelof van der Merwe. Side edge and well fielded by Waqas Barkat, who's definitely saved 3 runs there. Yeah, Manjinder was in the World Cup qualifier squad in 2014. It's kind of dropped out of our system just through lack of opportunity in a way. Has continued to play domestic cricket. As you can see, it's 4 runs through backward point. Has continued to play domestic cricket and has done okay. Picked up here by City Kaitak in the draft. They see something in him. He's one of those players that we hope these sorts of tournaments become springboards to get back into the national setup in front of people.
Yeah, this Hong Kong T20 blitz going around the world, and certainly if you want to perform under the spotlight, and he's done it. Wicket of his first ball. And he's been right on the spot. That's the kind of delivery that got rid of Nezakat Khan. He's generating a decent amount of pace as well.
Yeah, good pace. He's always generated decent amount of pace. Just gets the ball to angle in. He reverses the old ball very well. And he's not the worst batsman either. He can hit some very, very long balls.
And yet he was scheduled to come in at number 11. It just shows they have some depth in this side to City Kaitak. Runners up from 2017. They might come up second best today, but there'll still be plenty of positives to pick up because they've hit the ground running in this tournament. They're playing tomorrow morning again. Not much of a turnaround for them.
Yeah, that's right. They're up tomorrow morning against Hong Kong Island United. Oh, that's going to be fine enough for 4. That just shows how short this boundary is. Unfortunately, just penalised for getting slightly too wide.
99 for 3. Yeah, just out of shot there. That's our commentary position. That was a very gentle dab for a 4. No real threat to us here. That's just confirmation of what City Kaitak have coming up tomorrow morning. 10 o'clock local time on day 2 of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz. Should be a cracking contest. City Kaitak do go on to lose this match, the opening encounter. They'll be coming back hard, and that's what we have in store tomorrow afternoon. 2 o'clock local time. It's going to be the Kowloon Cantons taking on the Galaxy Gladiators of Lantau.
Riyad Emirates continuing. a bit expensive. She feels he's the man to make the breakthrough. It's quite a good attribute to have as captain. If you feel that you're the man, you step up. We can see these the two innings are really starting to track similarly together, but the Jaguars are just ahead at this stage.
That's what he's done a few times in this innings. Number 14. And if there's a lesson they're going to take for tomorrow morning, that's, I think, lesson number 1. They've got to fix that very quickly, because it's because of that they really haven't managed to keep that worm as close to their own as they would have liked.
Yeah, that's right. But you can also see there what wickets do. They've taken a couple of wickets and they've ended up trying to drag that run rate back to where they are. Talk about critical points within games, and this sort of last couple of overs and probably the next 2 overs are really critical to see if they can actually try and create some artificial pressure to make the JD Jaguars make some errors and get them back in the game, because as it goes at the moment, they'll basically just run out losers in this game fairly neatly. Rather almost lose this game in 17 overs, having had a real good crack, than lose it in the 15th over, having let the game just drift.
Yeah, with 34 runs that were needed, 42 balls at the start of this over, I personally was a little surprised he didn't turn to Sohail Tanvir, who really bowled well at the start of the innings. Got nothing to lose, and he should have known that he himself hasn't had a great day, so fair enough.
Yeah, if you've got 12 balls at Sohail Tanvir, you want to use them at the most critical times, and 100% agree, this is one of those times. Just got to try and take a wicket. And again, there, have a slip. You're not going to defend the runs. Have a slip. You need to bowl the Jaguars out.
Spot on, Simon. Just may have missed a trick there, Riyad Emrit. Coming into captain city for Kaitak for the first time. Isaz Khan, the original captain last year. Got away with that one. He was very fortunate. He had a fielder, that was Manjinder Singh, who was fairly fine. Otherwise, you get great value for a little dab and a little flick.
Yeah, and the fielders really need to be aware of their space around them and their angles in particular, with these short boundaries, particularly straight. As you say, those balls that would only really go for 1 normally potentially can go for 4 if you're out of position by only 1 or 2 feet.
It's a good finish to the over. 108 for 3. It's been almost too easy for Jaguars. Johan Boita and Roelof van der Merwe haven't really had much to do, just build on the start given by the captain, Kinshid Shah. Fairly efficient innings from Nizakat Khan. Not for the first time, the top run scorer in the history of the Blitz.
Yeah, good to see the Jaguars scorecard being dominated by a national player with Nizakat Khan. City Kaitak bowlers have struggled a little bit, particularly with the extras. We've seen that. Sohail Tanvir not really used as such, but he's coming back onto bowl right now. Samuel Badri bowled out. He's 1 for 29. He's tried quite hard, but every bowler's really struggled, particularly with the extras.
Look at those figures for Sohail Tanvir. 2 overs for 4. I reckon Riyad Emrit may have brought him back a couple of overs too late. There you see evidence of why he's so impactful no matter what stage of the innings he bowls.
Have a slip. Get a slip in. I agree. I think when Majinda got Nazakit out, that was the time where Sohail should have come back on. Yes, he might have been ending up bowling it, and then he didn't want to bowl at, but I think that was the time to get him on to really try and break open the Jaguars innings to give them the City Kaitak a chance of winning the game. I'd still like to see a slip in here.
Exactly what happens from the extra pace he generates.
Yeah, just lose your mid-wicket. Lose your short mid-wicket. Get a slip in.
That's the short mid-wicket you're talking about?
Yeah, just lose a short mid-wicket. Sohail generally takes the ball across the right-handed batter. He's got some good movement so far. If he's hitting good lines and good lengths, there's every chance he'll be able to get a nick off. If the batter wants to work it against his angle through mid-wicket, then it's even more so it's going to bring slip into play.
That's perfectly placed. That is impeccable placement from Roelof van der Merwe. Oh, he just used the contours of this ground so well. He knew he's got a good bowler up against him and realized if I want a boundary, I need to thread the needle.
That's right, 45-metre boundary down there. Short, fine leg. It's not a big boundary. You just have to get it past the inner ring, and you've got every chance of beating both fielders that are back.
Come back.
Yeah, we've seen 4 balls in this over so far, one of which he's got wrong and he's got punished because he's got 2 straight, Roelof van der Merwe. But the other 3 have gone past the outside edge.
You could see he was almost contemplating the ramp shot, just try to guide it over Jamie Atkinson, Samuel Badri down a third man, but I reckon if he makes any kind of contact with Sohail Tanvi's pace, Badri has no chance.
Badri actually potentially is a catcher. It's that short down here.
Oh, that was disappointing. Waqas Barkat.
Unusual. Waqas Barkat's normally a very, very good fielder. So that would be that's an anomaly. Yeah, Samuel Badri down here, he is genuinely a catcher on this ground. So you see Waqas Barkat trying to rectify an error. Kind of just sums up City Kaitak's game, really, doesn't it? What would be a straightforward pickup normally is not gone quite right.
Spot on, Simon. Yeah, they've let the game slip through their legs. 114 for 3. The reason for them to stay in the game till the very end is this is a round-robin format. Theoretically, you could have a situation where run rate comes into play, trying to qualify for the final. And if you are going down, fight till the end, try and get as close as you possibly can.
Yeah, this year the teams are more evenly matched. Last year the Cantons had on paper the better team, and it proved that. They ended up running out winners. More evenly matched. I expect teams to be beating each other, and as you say, run rates will definitely, I think, come into this as the deeper we go into this tournament. And run rates will be interesting because of the small dimensions of the grounds. Could be having some extraordinary run rates. Bapara starts off with a slower ball again.
But he's gone for experience over youth. Possible option he still had of continuing with Manjinder, who really produced something out of nowhere to get rid of Nezakat Khan. I think captain of City Kaitak, Riyad Emrit, turns to the wily old fox.
See how Ravi Bapara could be incredibly successful when he's got a target to actually bowl to. But when batters aren't ever under pressure to score against him, it kind of nullifies all of the skills that he has.
Yeah, I think you summed up perfectly why they should have had a Manjinder bowling at this stage. Maybe even the X factor of a Waqas Barkat coming and doing something different. Because Bapara does thrive on the middle part of the innings in a 50-over contest where nothing much is happening and you want to continue to keep it that way. Or, of course, prize out wickets when batsmen are trying to come after you. But at this stage, batsmen are happy to just stay back, wait, nudge, single, we're happy.
Yeah, that's right. 16 runs off 27 balls, it's pretty much a walk in the park. What you'd almost like to see is actually Riyad Emrit bringing the field up and forcing the batters to try and hit over the top, seeing if they can actually create something, get Ravi Bapara to manipulate a wicket somehow. Do that by manufacturing some artificial pressure, bring the fielders up.
It's a rare dot delivery. He's got 6 in this spell so far. You could see with the kind of score they've had to defend, it's not been a difficult bowler to get away. That would have been wide, but the batsman then opts instead for a single at the end of the 16th. Just 14 more to get, it's 119 for 3. Day 1 of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz. Going round the world to Neo Sports in the subcontinent, Fox Sports in Australia, BT Sport in the UK, Star Times Africa, ESPN in the Caribbean, OSN in the Middle East, and right here in Hong Kong, iCable Sport. Wonderful global event, Simon, as it's set out to be, and improving year on year.
That's outside the line. Yeah, it's grown exponentially. I think that's probably typical of Hong Kong, actually. Hong Kong's one of those places that if something's going to go big, it goes big really quickly. And from the first year that we ran the event, there was a live stream and there were only half the number of tents and no grandstands, one overseas player, to where it's come now, which has a potential global reach of 175 million people through various broadcast partners around the world.
Oh, good catch. He had the time to jump perfectly, Ravi Bopara, and he did just that. Roll off on the Merva falls. And Sohail Tanvir finally gets his breakthrough after an excellent spell. Might just be a wicket too late, but nonetheless, they've got to stay until the very end. Fondamerva goes for 19. It's 120 for 4.
The wicket we were talking about, Sohail Tanvir is the man who's actually made the breakthrough. Darren Sammy makes his way to the crease. We can see a replay here. Ball hit high up on the bat. It's not got anything of it. And sometimes they're pretty difficult catches to take. You assume they're coming a lot quicker than you think, and Ravi Bopara there to jump. Time his jump just right. And Sammy to the crease, World Cup winner. JD Jaguars veteran as well. He was here last year.
Yeah, you could see the lovely island of St. Lucia is feeling the chill a little bit. He's put on the extra jumper, so you'll know they dress more in black than in magenta. Oh, that's going to be close. That's going to be very close. Sohail Tanvir is almost asking Darren Sammy, surely, come on. Had a chance there. Unless again, did it pitch outside leg? It's the angle that Tanvir is bringing the ball back in. Asks the umpire. Again, without a word.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything in there. We'll have to have a look at a few more replays. All I'd say is if we're necessarily not sure here, then probably the benefit of the doubt needs to go to the umpire. Needs to go to the batter.
Well, it certainly wasn't pitching outside leg the previous one. This one was, and it was just helped along its way by the Honorary Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Darren Sammy. How many people in the world can you count on your hands who have a stadium named after them, an existing current cricketer?
Yeah, there's not many, is there, around the world? I think Jimmy Anderson recently, I think, played a test match at Old Trafford that had the Jimmy Anderson Stadium. But there aren't too many current players that you turn up at a ground and it's named after you, or a stadium, or a stand.
Yeah, for Jimmy it's just a stand. For him it's the whole stadium.
Correct.
The whole island, if you like. Such a character, Darren Sammy. I had the pleasure of interviewing the Honourable Prime Minister of St. Lucia during the Caribbean Premier League, and I cheekily asked the question to the Prime Minister, this guy, if he wanted, could really be the leader of the nation. And the PM said, he is the Prime Minister, I'm only standing in for him.
Would be interesting governance, I think, under Darren Sammy. Certainly a very good leader. Has led the West Indies, led various franchise teams around the world, and is a very, very successful cricketer in his own right. As that is an outstanding pick-up shot from Johan Botha, who just diffuses any wobble that the JD Jaguars have. It's 129 for 4 at centre.
Trying to think of a word to describe that shot, and one comes to mind, audacious. You'd have to be daring to do that.
You do these days. I mean, you've got guys who are getting inside the line and ramping balls going at 150 clicks. They're fine sweeping, reverse sweeping balls that are coming down pretty quickly. You know, so Tanvir is probably getting the ball down there at sort of between 120, 130 clicks.
So it's almost done and dusted. Just 4 runs to win. And knowing Darren Sammy, given the fact that he's not really enjoying this Hong Kong winter too much, he'll want to be there for just one more delivery.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to want to be out there for too much longer.
Yeah, he had the right idea. So did Manjinder, helping him out with something down the leg side.
Yeah, it's just not been Sidi Kaitak's day, has it? Struggled with the bat, couldn't really get any momentum going, genuine momentum going in the innings, kind of stumbled to a below par score. And then have been what would best be described as ring rusty with the ball, lots of extras, They've definitely come out second best here.
15 wides to be exact. That's pretty criminal. All the more when you're defending just 132. It's not only been from the quicker bowlers, we had one from the spinner as well. And does he finish it off? No, he doesn't. Nearly was. Looks disappointed with himself, Darren Sammy. I guess it's over to Johan Boyter to finish things off for the Hong Kong JD Jaguars in this opening match of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz for 2018. Just coming in at the fag end of a really cold spell here in Hong Kong. On another day, that would have gone straight to hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to be today, is it? The way the luck's gone for City Kaitak. Death by 1,000 paper cuts here at the moment. It's just singles. The field comes up, so scores are level. Might see something rather violent over the short, straight boundary down here towards the commentary box. Just to finish the game off in style, I think, from Darren Sammy. He's that kind of character, isn't he?
Well, that's not a paper cut to finish, although I love the expression death by 1,000 paper cuts, but Darren Sammy decides, I'll do it my way to finish, and a maximum number 7 of the day. They didn't really need too many. That's the 7-6 of the tournament. The Hong Kong JD Jaguars win the opening game of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz for 2018. Just not enough runs on the board for City Kaitak, the runners-up from last year. 4 and a 6 for big Darren Sammy. A good hand from Johan Boyter. And a clinical victory for the Hong Kong JD Jaguars. Good innings from Nizakat Khan, but he didn't really need to do more than that.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy canter for the JD Jaguars after City Kaitak set a low pass score, 132. Nizakat Khan led the way. Johan Boyter, outstanding middle innings, just kept the run chase on target, and Darren Sammy, like we said, just finishes it off in style by launching something quite violent over the short boundary down towards the commentary box. Jaguars scorecard, fairly emphatic win. Kinshit Shah and Nizakat Khan started off really well. Kinshit Shah, 22 from 26, was undone by a good short ball. Walden was taken by a great catch out of deep square by Rag Kapoor. Nizakat Khan top scored with 48 from 38. Some good blows from him. Ricky Vessels came and went pretty quickly. Was done by a good catch down on the deep square boundary by Sohail Tanvir. And Roelof van der Merwe came in, hit some good early shots, 19 from 14, and game was finished off pretty quickly by Darren Sammy with a 6 to win the game. City Kaitak bowling figure, Sohail Tanvir outstanding bowling with the ball, 1 for 20 from his 4. All the other bowlers really struggled. Riyad Emirates struggled in particular with wides. A couple of wickets there for Azaz Khan and Majinder Singh. But overall, it just wasn't enough runs. And JD